What does Walt Disney Studios Park in Disneyland Paris look like right now, and is it worth visiting in 2025? Well, let's find out. Hi everyone, how's life, and welcome to another one of my videos. So yes, as we all know, very soon Walt Disney Studios Park is going to be changed into Disney Adventure World with the opening of World of Frozen and so many other parts of this park. It's going to be almost like an entirely new park, which is very exciting, but of course that does mean that currently there's quite a lot of construction happening and walls up. So let's go and have a look around the park and see what the park looks like currently in February of 2025. Firstly, we're having quite a wonderful day here today in Disneyland Paris. Beautiful weather, look at that. Completely blue skies, which is lovely. It's also a Saturday currently as I'm filming this, so you might be seeing a little bit more crowds than normal. Of course, in front of us we've got Mickey Mouse, the iconic Fantasia Mickey, looking amazing still. And then behind him we've got the Walt Disney Studios Studio One sign still, which in the next few months it should be changing. That is the one thing that so far we know for sure will be happening in 2025. In spring of 2025 is what we've been told officially by Disneyland Paris. We don't have a date yet, but at some point I imagine from around April to June. I think that's kind of when the spring months are. Hopefully in April, that's my hope. But yeah, of course I will let you know the date as soon as I know, but it's still very exciting just to know that pretty soon, within the next few months, we should be able to walk through this Studio One, which of course is not going to be called that anymore. It's going to be renamed to World Premiere because the whole theming of this park is changing, and it's going to be exciting just to be able to walk through it again, see what it looks like. And from some of the concept art, some of the work, some of the photos that we've seen behind the scenes stuff, it does look like they've done a really good job. And I'm mainly curious about the new restaurant that used to be called Restaurant Enquiries. It was the quick service restaurant in there that I didn't like. It was my least favorite restaurant here in Disneyland Paris. So I'm really hoping that with the new theming, with the new change, with the new restaurant opening there, I'm going to enjoy spending time in there a little bit more than I used to back in the days. But as you can see, currently it still does have all the walls up in front of it. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to get back in there. And we do have a map here as well that shows you some of what the park is going to look like once it changes into Adventure World. So basically, when you go through Studio One / World Premiere and then you exit from the other side, you're going to head into Disney Adventure Way, I believe. And that's going to lead you to so many cool things. So of course, World of Frozen. There's going to be a full-on new sit-down restaurant there as well by the lake, which I'm very excited about. We've got the Tangled attraction over here. And just, it's going to look so much prettier with so much more scenery and trees. And you can even see Woody over here, which is so exciting. And fun fact for you, he's actually technically already in the park, which I am going to show it to you later. And right next to that poster here, you do of course have Disney World Premiere, which is of course going to be the new name of Studio One. And this is something that Disneyland Paris did once they first had to close up Studio One in April of 2024. And the people that you see here are all, I think, annual pass holders from Disneyland Paris. There was like a day where any annual pass holder in Disneyland Paris was able to come and have their photo taken, which is very cool. I wasn't here, so don't try and find me here. But maybe you guys were. Let me know if any of you guys are on this poster, because I think it's a very nice idea. Anyway, as you can see, there is a sign here that says entrance that way, because once upon a time you used to be able to enter the park from Studio One, but currently and for the past, I want to say 6, 7, maybe even 8 months, this has been the main route to the other parts of the park. Before we make our way there though, I did want to mention that the shop here is still open, the Walt Disney Studios store officially called, and you can even get yourself some Pandora, because back in the days the Pandora shop was in there, and of course at the moment it can't be there because it's currently closed. So if you are looking for Pandora in this park, you can still get them. It's just in this main big shop at the entrance of the park. Anyway, let's do the journey to the other parts of the park. And what I like about Disneyland Paris is that they have done their best to try and keep traffic as, you know, controlled as possible. So you can see the arrows on the ground. If you're leaving the park, you should be using that side. If you're heading to the park, this side. But not every guest, you know, follows it, unfortunately. And on some busy days, it can become a little bit chaotic. Look at that Mickey Eiffel Tower over there as well, which currently still has the Walt Disney Studios sign on it. I'm pretty sure they're going to keep it, but then just change it to Disney Adventure World once the park renames itself next year, 2026. So as we get... Oh, hello, how are you?
I watched your videos.
Oh, nice to meet you. Lovely to meet you. Thank you so much.
I watched your videos
Thank
before
you.
I came to here.
Thank you very much. It's always so lovely meeting you guys. But yeah, as we get closer and closer to the end of the route here, you can of course spot Tower of Terror over there. And then to my left, we've got the theatre for Together, a Pixar adventure musical. Currently, the theatre is still called Studio Theatre. This is actually where back in the days they used to have Cinemagique, which was an amazing theatre show. And let me know in the comments down below if any of you got to experience Cinemagique back in the days. I'm talking like before 2020, way before that actually. I think it closed, I want to say, in 2017 with no explanation. It's actually really sad. It was a very good show and it made sense for what Walt Disney Studios Park was when it first opened. So I understand why it no longer exists and it will never probably come back. But I have fond memories of it and I would love to hear your thoughts on it as well if you ever got to see it. You can see it's a pretty busy day and I would always recommend getting here early if you're hoping to watch any of the shows in Disneyland Paris, whether it's in this park or the main park. Arrive at least 45 minutes early. And there's a bit of a crowd happening here. Is it because, that's why. Goofy's around meeting guests. That is pretty cool. So Goofy in this outfit, in his studio outfit, used to have a location spot, a proper meet and greet spot at the front entrance of the park. Now he seems to randomly just roaming around, which is nice. Well, I didn't expect to start my day in this park with Goofy, but I just got to meet him very quickly. I only had to wait like a couple of minutes, which was very easy. Shout out to the cast members that were around with Goofy. Very lovely, but I'm walking here because behind me you will see makes me a little bit sad. This here, over here, the Studio D Theatre, is where the Disney Dream Factory used to happen, the Disney Junior show, which unfortunately went on a hiatus about 3-4 months ago, and now instead you've got Le Moment Musical de Minnie, so like Minnie's musical moment. I haven't actually checked out the show quite yet, so I don't know what it's like, but from my understanding, it's not even really a show, it's more like a moment, a musical moment with Minnie. Oh, Pluto's just there as well. Just come out. This is fun. I'm glad that Disneyland Paris are trying to, especially on a busy day like today, trying to get some characters out in a park like this with all the walls up at the moment. They're doing a good job. But going back to this, so I believe it's mainly firstly aimed at children. It's more of a, like Minnie comes on stage with a couple of cast members, I think they're called Jamie, and then they sing some songs, you guess it, Timon is also there. Yeah, this is my understanding of it, and you don't even get to sit, you actually stand, so it's not really a show. It's a fun moment. If you have children who love Minnie, it can be quite nice for them to get to see Minnie on stage, but apart from that, I don't know if it's, something that I would ever get excited about or something that I would recommend for adults. So yeah, that's probably why I haven't gone in that yet, but Disney has said that Disney Dream Factory will come back and should come back, so let's have our fingers crossed, because that show, even though it was Disney Junior themed, it was amazing. A lot of adults loved it. It was a proper show. It had so many cool theatrical elements to it, so I do miss it. Oh, Goofy! I didn't expect you to be here. Oh, that's so fun. See you around. Bye. Oh, that scared me a little bit. But what's cool is that all the way down there in Avengers Campus, you might be able to see Spider-Man as well. He's on top of the Web Adventure building. And look just how crowded this area of the park looks at the moment. So many people. Wow. I guess the fact that it's a nice sunny day has brought more people in as well, like locals probably. But we're not actually going to head into Avengers Campus today because not much has changed there. Everything is very much the same as it was a couple of years ago when it first opened. Most of the walls and most of the work seems to be happening around this area. And of course, when we get closer to World of Frozen and Toy Story Playland back there. We've got another poster showing us what this park is going to look like next year. And I wanted to also show you that currently, this is of course the Hollywood Tower of Terror's entrance. This is where you need to go if you want to ride the ride. But they have walls up at the back end, so let me just zoom in, yeah, all the way down there. It's kind of blocked now, so it's like a dead end, unfortunately. If you want to ride Tower of Terror, you come here, you queue up, you ride the ride, and then the only way out and to leave this area would be to go back to this direction again. Look at the wait time for Tower of Terror today, by the way, guys, 95 minutes. That is definitely long. Too long, I think, for this ride. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Tower of Terror, but 95 minutes? Maybe if you're here on a very busy day like today, wait a little bit until evening time and it should definitely drop down. Anyway, carrying on from Tower of Terror to the right, as I said, you do have walls now blocking your entrance or your route. And then on the back, you can kind of see a little bit. This is the top of Toy Story Playland's parachute drops. Here's a better look of it if you step back a little bit. So yeah, that's a route that you used to be able to take and then head towards Toy Story Playland. Unfortunately, at the moment, you can't do that because, of course, they are expanding a little bit of that land as well with some new entrances. And you can see signs here that says sortie exit that way, so you know that literally the only way out of where you are would be to go right, unless you want to go to the food court area. So here they do have some tables and a couple of little food snacks. I think this one sells like sandwiches and actually some vegan options over there, falafels, which is nice. And it's a lovely area, I would say, actually. If you want some peace and quiet in this very, very busy park and very, interesting looking construction like park, then come here. They have some nice tables, they have cover. If you're here during a rainy day, you can easily find a table and enjoy yourself. So yeah, not a bad spot to enjoy some time, but just remember, if you do come, again, more walls over there. So back in the day, you used to be able to go through those archways and back into the main part of Studio One. You can actually kind of see a little bit of Studio One in the back, which is currently under construction. So yeah, this is like a very secluded part now, literally just a little food court area. I'm hoping this video shows you what to expect, by the way. So if you are visiting Walt Disney Studios Park, which you should, I mean, by all means, if you have a trip planned for 2025, don't cancel it, because there's still loads to do here. It's just a little bit difficult to navigate it because of all the walls up. But I think as long as you're prepared, as long as you know exactly what to expect before you come to Disneyland Paris and visit this park specifically, hopefully you should be fine and you can just make the most of all the attractions and shows and character meets around the park. But let's continue making our way from Tower of Terror to the other side of the park, and this means we have to walk down all these walls in the middle here. And again, to be fair to Disney, they've done the best they can with the situation that they're in. So you have a map of the park currently, you have all the information that you need as to which way to go for the rides and attractions that you want to see. You've even got like a little poster here with all the times, the hours for Minnie's new musical moment show, and down here there's even a poster. So it does look pretty cool, to be fair. Like I said, if you do have children or if you enjoy Minnie's particularly, maybe give it a go. It is definitely the most congested part of the parks though, I will say, because it's such a narrow like road, so especially when it's very busy it can be a little bit difficult to navigate. But today's actually not too bad. I am feeling okay walking down here. Now, I did want to quickly show you this other side of Studio One / World Premiere when it reopens soon. And recently they've actually put up some posters up there, so you can see Mickey and the Magician on the left. You've got La Reine des Neiges for Frozen, which is one of the shows here, and then of course Together, the Pixar adventure musical on the right. So I think they're clearly just testing it out right now, because the Walt Disney Studios side is still up there, so I'm pretty sure they're going to have to repaint that first and then put this back up, which does look pretty nice though. It kind of gives us a glimpse as to what we can expect from the exterior of this side of Studio One / World Premiere. And you have to remember, the whole idea behind World Premiere, the new theming of Studio One, is going to be that you're walking through a world premiere, and so that's why the posters now make sense, because this park already has so many shows. It's kind of become a park for shows, and to have like really nice Broadway-like posters up there for them makes it, oh, hi, how are you? Lovely to meet you. Well, thank you very much. Nice to meet you. I saw you waving, so I thought I'd come and say hi. You don't mind being in the vlog? No. Because you would have seen it. Okay. Yeah. These posters do make sense, I think, and as a theatre fan especially, I really like the way they designed the posters. And you can even see here, this place actually used to have walls up until not so long ago, so it's nice that you have a bit more space now. So another space for you to maybe come and take refuge if you feel like you're getting a little overwhelmed in this park. Generally speaking, as you can see, not a lot of people here, and there's also not much to do, which is probably why people don't come here, but at least it's an empty space for the most part. But under normal circumstances, you should have the Frozen show here in the Celebration Theatre, and you can see the Frozen show also has a completely new poster. Look at that. It's the same poster that they have on the Studio One building currently. At the moment, the show isn't running, but you can check the app and the official Disneyland Paris website to see when the show should be coming back on. You can see over here, Frozen, a musical invitation. And this is actually a very nice show for any Frozen fan out there. You get to see Anna, Elsa, even Sven and Kristoff. There's some songs going on. It's quite cute. It's also very popular. So obviously when the show is on, if you choose to come and see it, make sure you get here an hour early, I would say. And there is a sign up there that says, "See you soon for an enchanted musical invitation." So I'm guessing it's only a very temporary hiatus for the show. It should be back very, very soon. But with that being said, let's continue our journey. To my left here, we've got the Animation Celebration. This is where you generally can meet Olaf. They also have the Animation Academy, which again, at the moment, it seems to be closed. But when it's open, it's quite a fun experience. You get to learn how to draw a different Disney character. And it's all completely free. You also get to keep your drawing by the end of it. So yeah, again, more walls here across both of these areas. Back there you can see the theatre for Mickey and the Magician, which currently the show isn't on. It will be coming back in April. You can see a sign there that says "Bientôt de retour," we'll be back soon. So yeah, Mickey and the Magician, a very, very popular, very, very good show here in Walt Disney Studios Park. So definitely worth checking out if the show is on when you visit Walt Disney Studios Park. In fact, all the shows here, apart from the new Minnie one, which I don't think is much of a show, it's more of like an interaction with Minnie and the people in the audience. All the other shows are very fun. Even Alice, which should be coming back in May of 2025. And that's a show that's a little bit more out there than some of the more classic Disney shows, but I still really enjoyed it. And so if Alice is on, I would also recommend that one. But what's currently happening with Studio 3, the theatre for Mickey the Magician, the Animagique Theatre, as it used to be called, is that I'm guessing they're going to try and redesign the entrance of it. So on top of there, and hopefully you'll be seeing some concept design right now, they will be having a full-on poster advertising Mickey and the Magician, and this theatre is going to be completely transformed into a Mickey and the Magician theatre. It's going to look a lot cooler than it does currently. Right next to the Mickey and the Magician theatre, you do of course have Aladdin's carpet ride, which from what I can see is currently got a 25-minute wait, which isn't too bad, but again it does show how busy today is. And then right next to it, you've got Crush's Coaster, the most popular ride here in Walt Disney Studios Park, and I would say in the entirety of Disneyland Paris Resort actually. You can see how far out the queue currently comes to, and it's got a 110-minute wait. Ooh. Oh, wow, that's long. That is long. They do have a single rider, which is currently at 60 minutes, so still long, I would say. And this is why I would suggest buying yourself a Premier Access for this ride. If you really want to do it, especially if you're visiting during very busy days like today, then get yourself that Premier Access. It's a paid fast pass. It's the only ride that I would say is absolutely worth it here in Disneyland Paris. And by that, I mean almost every other ride in Disneyland Paris, at least currently in 2025, you should be able to find a way to get on without queuing too long and without having to pay for a paid fast pass. But Crush's Coaster is just too popular, and my only other suggestion would be to try and come here very early in the morning, which doesn't often work because everyone has that same idea, but also maybe try it later on in the evening, like about half an hour before the park is meant to close. Then you might also have slightly better luck and have it be a little bit lower wait time. But otherwise, if you really absolutely 100% want to do Crush's Coaster, if it's a ride that's like one of your top rides that you want to do whilst you're in Disneyland Paris, then consider buying that paid fast pass. I would say of all the paid fast passes, this is definitely the one that is worth it the most. But anyway, we are now going to make our way through probably my least favorite part of Walt Disney Studios Park, and not because I don't like the theming, but just because this area is so narrow, and it's always been quite difficult to get here on a crowded day, especially now that with all the other walls up, the construction areas, it genuinely can feel very overwhelming trying to get through this area. Thankfully, it is a pretty short route though, so as long as you can just bear a little bit of madness and chaos here, you should be at Toy Story Playland and Ratatouille very soon. And this is basically the end of the route. You can see there's always some kind of traffic happening, and then up there is where you might be able to find some Pixar characters from time to time. So at the moment I'm spotting Woody there. Sometimes you might see Bo Peep or Jessie or just other Pixar characters. It's basically a meet and greet location. But also I've just noticed over here they used to have a stand which sold some very overpriced corn dogs and I think like a Buzz Eclair snack as well. For whatever reason, it's disappeared. It's not here at the moment. I don't know why. I don't know if Disney's planning on bringing it back at some point or if it's gone for good. The thing is, the corn dogs that they sold there weren't even bad. They just were a little bit too expensive for what they were. And actually, some of you might remember when the stand first opened and when they first started selling those corn dogs, I did make a whole video about them and how expensive I thought they were for how small the corn dogs were. And then eventually, I think about 2 months later, Disney actually lowered the price. Something that very rarely happens with Disney. I mean, what we're mainly used to with Disney is like prices constantly going up, and that's the case with all the Disney parks worldwide. So I was kind of, pleasantly surprised that they actually, I don't know if they listened to me specifically, but they must have just realized somehow that it was a little bit expensive, and I think they lowered the price by €2 or €3, and it was still kind of expensive but much more reasonable than what they were originally. Doesn't matter anymore though, because by the looks of it, it's currently gone. So we are going to continue making our journey towards Toy Story Playland, where Buzz is currently welcoming us in.
Greetings! Sergeant and his Green Army men have established a recon post for their next mission. They are now preparing for Operation Parachute Drop.
Speaking of the parachute drops, which Buzz very kindly mentioned, if you want to get a glimpse as to how World of Frozen is going in terms of the construction and also a little bit more of the rest of the park, then the parachute drops is the best attraction to go on because you get to see literally the other side of the walls, and it's amazing. And hopefully right now you might be seeing some clips of when I went on it last time. There's a little bit of World of Frozen over here. You might even be spotting some new characters. So Jessie and Woody have now joined the gang here at Toy Story Playland, which is so exciting to see. And that's the thing, once Disney Adventure World opens, once the park officially changes to Disney Adventure World next year, we're going to be getting Jessie and Woody as some new entrance ways to Toy Story Playland as well, which is going to be so exciting. I love the fact that we're going to have all three of the main characters from Toy Story in Toy Story Playland here, considering, you might not know this, but Toy Story Playland in Disneyland Paris, Walt Disney Studios Park, is actually the very first Toy Story Playland out there. Of course, they did build Toy Story Land in Hollywood Studios later on, and then there's one in Hong Kong Disneyland, as well as Shanghai as well. Shanghai's got it too. But we had it first here in Disneyland Paris. It's, ooh! There you go. That's the ride over there. Parachute drops. It's also just a very fun ride, so you don't even have to go on it just to see the construction. You can go on it just to enjoy it if that's what you would prefer. But it is a good way of seeing some of the construction work. So yeah, hopefully you would have seen some concept artwork right now on screen, and they will show you exactly what the new entranceways are going to look like with Woody and Jessie. And I'm particularly excited to see Woody here in Disneyland Paris.
Who
and beyond. So pretty soon Buzz is not going to be the only important toy here in Toy Story Playland. He's going to be joined by his friends, which is cute, but we're not going to go into Toy Story Playland just yet. I wanted to also show you that Place de Remy, which is the Ratatouille area of Walt Disney Studios, is right next to it. So, I love it when he speaks French. Yeah, if you're looking to go to Ratatouille, Place de Remy, then you're going to have to go that way. They're very close to each other, both entrances. But I also want to very quickly walk down this way to show you, again, another block that we can see. So you can see when we continue going this way, there's basically nothing. It's literally just walls. There's not much we can do here. The only thing that they have here is actually toilets. So if you see some people going that way, it's because there is still a toilet functioning here. And that's a sign for it. Official sign. This park looks so bizarre and strange at the moment. You have to laugh. And once upon a time, before they started the renovation works and constructions here, you used to be able to walk down that route and get to Tower of Terror. Sometimes they would have some food stands here for the Rendezvous Gourmand, which was nice. It felt a lot nicer. And trust me, this park will eventually also look just as nice, if not even nicer than what it used to be. So have patience, have hope, and hopefully by 2026 we should be seeing a very new park. Anyway, I'm going to walk through Toy Story Playland now. Look at the parachute drops coming through. Beautiful, beautiful sunny day, and being in this land always makes me happy, even on a busy day like today. Just seeing all these lovely twinkling, colourful lights, hearing the noises of screams from people coming down the parachute drops, and just the Toy Story music that is played all around the land. And you can see right next to the parachute drops over here, there's even more walls up. And this is all because of the new entranceways of Toy Story Playland. So actually, behind these walls, you might be able to spot Jessie and Woody. And like I said, if you want to see them properly, then the best way would be to go on parachute drops. Or you can just come and stand where I'm standing, and that way you might be able to spot Jessie's face over there. Honestly, I am so excited to see Jessie and Woody both in full once Disney Adventure World opens. And here's a better look at her from the front. Got the Pixar ball here, and then the parachute drops in the back, and Jessie looking very smiley and happy behind these walls. Now, Woody's a little bit harder to spot from the ground, but you might be able to see his beautiful hat, cowboy hat, all the way in the back there too. I've got to say, again, kudos to Disney, because as you can see, there's even more characters out right now. Some of the green toy soldiers. Hiya! It makes it a little bit more congested in the land, but it's also very fun. Oh, I do love RC Racer. Such a good underrated ride here. But I'm going to make my way out of Toy Story Playland and head towards the Cars Road Trip, because I'm getting a little bit hungry, and recently they installed some new food stands here on the way to Cars Road Trip. So I thought I might maybe get one of the burgers that they have there. There's some burger stands. There's also like some sweet stuff like churros and I think candy floss. They also do frikandel, but I think I want to try the burger. This is the burger stand. It's called the Party Cafe, and I like the design of the actual stands. Very nice and colorful. And the burgers they have here, they do a cheeseburger priced at €9.50, beef, cheddar, cheese, lettuce, tomato, red onion and pickle, or a chicken cheeseburger, which is chicken, cheddar, cheese, lettuce, tomato, red onion and pickle, also priced at €9.50. And then if you want some french fries with your meal, that is an extra €5. And they also do a selection of soft drinks. It looks to be a little bit of a queue actually for the food stands, probably because it's currently just after 2 p.m. and it's prime lunchtime for a lot of French people. So I'm going to join it and let you know what the burger's like. So I finally got my chicken cheese burger. I like the wrapping actually. Those are nice stars, and the bread feels nice and warm. It kind of feels a lot more fresh than your regular quick services, because they obviously do it there and then. Let me just put this here very quickly and have a look at what we have inside. So you can see the red onions, you can see the chicken, the cheese. I'm guessing some kind of burger sauce, maybe some mayonnaise with ketchup, tomato, and I think there should be some pickles somewhere in there as well. I'm not seeing them, but it's on the menu, so I'm guessing they'll be in there. One thing I will say though is that it took me almost 20 minutes to get my chicken cheeseburger over here, and they'd actually run out of both the cheeseburger and the fries. So there was a lot of disappointed guests, queuing in line and then getting to the front and then realizing that there's no cheeseburger left or no fries. Most of them ended up just changing their order to a chicken cheeseburger instead. But that's why it took so long. It's a very busy day. So, shout out to the cast members. They're doing their best. It's also a new stand, so I think they're still trying to get used to how many, cheeseburgers, how many orders they're going to be getting. They did say the fries will be coming back. It's just they've run out of them currently. Maybe the next hour or so they'll have them back. But they also have a stand not far from where I'm at where they should be selling some fries there. So in case you have a similar problem, and if you really want some fries and they don't have them here, just go a little bit further up and you should be able to find some fries. But this is the burger over here. Let's give it a go. Listen, from my first bite, it's a pretty good burger. Similar to the ones that you can get from quick services, except maybe a little bit better just because of the fact that it feels fresher. The red onions definitely add a nice flavor and texture to them as well, and the fact that the bread is nicely heated up for you also makes a difference. So is it the best burger I've ever had? Absolutely not, but it's a pretty reasonably decent burger. I can imagine it would be even better with fries, and maybe the cheeseburger will also be nice because they have some onions in it. And another thing to mention actually, because they do everything fresh in front of you, if you're a picky eater, if you don't want anything in there, if you don't want onions, tomatoes, whatever, you can just let them know there and then not to put any of the extra ingredients in there and just have a plain burger if that's what you would prefer. Do you know what? I actually really enjoyed that burger. I would go as far as saying that was my favorite chicken burger that I've ever had here in Disneyland Paris. So I approve of these new stands. I'm glad they exist. I think it's kind of a nice place to have them as well on the route to Cars Road Trip, because before they added these, this area was just an empty space for the most part, and now they actually have a couple of snack areas for you to get a burger or some churros if you want to. And I'm really curious to potentially come and try the cheeseburger at some point as well, and the fries looks good too. So overall you can have a nice meal here, nice quick service meal, and like I said, definitely better quality than the regular cheeseburgers that you can get at some of the other quick services. Like, this is better than Cafe Hyperion for sure. Anyway, we're about to reach another roadblock at the end of this route here. So actually behind all these fences and walls is where World of Frozen is currently being constructed, which is so exciting to know. They do also have a little smoking section here, and then to your right is where you would find the entrance to Cars Road Trip, probably the least exciting ride here in Walt Disney Studios Park, but it's a ride nonetheless, and especially if you have children who love cars, then it could be worth going on. Currently standing at a 20-minute wait, which isn't too bad, but generally you can find it at 5 minutes. But I think this is also a good place to end this video. I basically went through the whole park, Walt Disney Studios Park. The only place I didn't really step into was Avengers Campus, but that's because it hasn't changed. It's exactly as you would expect it to, and both of the rides there are currently functioning. And then of course Ratatouille as well. We didn't actually go into it, but I did show it to you, and those two lands are very much unchanged currently. And this here though is behind me. Very soon, next year 2026, is going to be a pathway to get to World of Frozen, which is so exciting. So that's why I think it makes sense for me to end the vlog here. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. If you are visiting Disneyland Paris and this park specifically in the next year or so, I hope this gave you some kind of idea as to what you can expect. And the main important thing is that the rides and attractions for the most part are open. Some of the shows are still open. The character meets are there, so you should still be able to have a good time. It just looks a little different to what it's going to look like hopefully next year. But I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, feel free to leave a comment down below and like the video as well, because that way I know to make more videos like this. Make sure you subscribe as well, because I will be making more videos similar to this, showing you any updates that happen in this park over the next year. So without further ado, I'm going to love you and leave you. Huge shout out to my lovely Patreon members and my YouTube members. You guys are amazing. Follow me on Instagram, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye.